You know the old saying, you can beat the rap, but you cannot beat the ride. Even if the arrest is completely wrongful, your best odds are to win in court and not try to flee the scene and avoid the police. This is especially true if the officer tries to disarm you. Every police department has different policies. But the worst thing you could possibly do is if the officer reaches in and tries to start to disarm you and take your weapon from you, don't turn it into a tug of war. Active resistance, as the cop will claim it, turns it into justifying escalation where the officer can now use that deadly force against you. In fact, as a classic example of this, I put out a video recently where a doctor actually lost his life because an officer was in that situation. So I want you to understand how important it is in this situation. Do not flee the scene and do not escalate the situation, especially when the officer is trying to take your weapon from you. I'm never saying you cannot advocate and stand up for your rights. You should always exercise your rights. You don't have to answer all the police questions. You always have a right to remain silent. You always have a right to an attorney. But it's important to understand the difference between passive non-compliance and active resistance. Exercising your rights, going limp, or protesting what the officers are doing, that is passive noncompliance. That is never a good reason for the officer to tase you or to use deadly force against you. What I'm talking about is getting into an all-out resistance situation where it's an argument and a fight. This will lead to the officers likely being able to justify that use of force against you.